Ladies and gentlemen, can give you a warm welcome to Regional Vice President, one of my favorite speakers, from the podium, the great Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
Well, good morning, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Mr. T, thanks for the intro. And yeah, man, I didn't even realize until you just said it that this would be it. So I didn't know that we weren't rolling for next Thursday, but that's totally cool. I get it. So I'll have a few things to say to you guys. So, I hope you guys can settle in for a second. But let me start where I always start and thank Al for his leadership, his coaching, generosity, hospitality, and all those things that great leaders. It's just sort of standard operating procedure that's how they work. And I'm excited to see what's going on with all of you guys. And I'm obviously grateful to be able to spend a little time with you guys every other month. So very good. Thank you, Al, for everything that you do, man. So I'm going to start where I started last week. I titled this month. I gave this month a title. Anybody want to throw it in the chat real quick? Thanks, Maria. I appreciate you. Jackie, you got it. Breakout. How are you going to break out? How are you in a different place now than when the month started? Okay. So we got some stuff to cover. So I was thinking about this as I was going over what we covered, right? And I have it in my notes right here. So the first call, one of the main things we covered was having less thought and more action, right? Because it's so easy to think about ACN, think about what we're doing, where we're going. Man, it's nice to see Marlene as well. Yeah, it's been a minute. Thinking about what we're doing, where we're going, but did we put our thought into action? And that's kind of what we covered in that first week, right? And then in the second week, in Breakout December, what I talked about was leading or being led, right? And there has to be a coachability agreement with the person that you're willing to work with and that's willing to work with you, right? If there's not an agreement, it's tough to move your business forward. So one example on my team recently, is a guy that you heard speak. His name is Corey Rodriguez, and Corey's a great guy. And Corey got back into ACN. And when he got back into ACN, understand he came in with a ton of knowledge, right? And belief that our business works, the systems work, right? But he literally started with 0.0 customers, brand new. And I don't care how much someone knows, when you are brand new and you go from 0 reps, 0 customers to regional coordinator in 27 days, would you all agree there's some work involved with that? Yes or no? There's some work involved. And I just want you to know that happened not because of me, but because of who he is and his willingness to be coached. And that all comes down to leading or being led. And you can't lead unless you've been led. And that's what I covered last week. And so here's the conversation for this week. And ultimately, my last one of the year with you guys. And here's what it is. Write it down. What determines a win? What determines a win? And you got to figure that out, right? And so I was thinking about this and I'm like, why did anybody sign up in this business? I don't think anybody signed up and they hit submit on their rep agreement to go, man, I'm going to be so mediocre at this. I'm just going to be middle of the road. And I know no one signed up in ACN and go, man, I suck. I mean, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to sign up. I'm signing up in a business to watch all these other people advance their businesses and their lives. I'm going to watch all these people go through personal growth and development. I'm going to watch all these people achieve things. And here's my $2.99 to watch everyone else win. No one signs up for that reason. But here's what's crazy. So you guys, I got to have an honest conversation here. No one signs up for that reason, but do you agree that happens to a lot of people? Yes or no? Let's be honest, a lot of people. So we got to figure out what determines a win here and start going after some wins. We need some check marks, man. We need some smiley faces. We need some stars. We need some emojis with heads exploding. Like that's what we need. And that's what we want for you. What you guys, it's why we do these freaking calls. Like I'm speaking for Al. Al's not doing these calls. Hey, could you imagine? Hey, be on the Al Thomas mediocre call every morning. Come on. We're doing this to do what? We're doing this to what? Someone say the word or put it in the chat. We're doing this to what? Okay, I'm gonna help you out. We're doing this to win. We're doing, thanks. Thanks, Kush. We're doing this to win, man. So here's a couple questions, right? I started with what determines a win? Win, baby, win. Corey, what determines a win? That's number one. Got to figure that out. What determines a win for you in a day? Is it getting a customer? Is it piquing someone's interest? Is it putting someone in front of the information? Is it making a determination? I'm getting 5 reps today. Whoa, wait a minute. 5 reps today? I haven't done 5 reps in a month. So what? It takes one. Who do you know? 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 Right? So I don't want this to be lip service. I don't want this to be like a word game. I want you guys to really hear from the heart what determines a win for you. You guys realize you can't do it if you can't speak it. And if you can't speak it if you don't know it. So why like go through this trying to like, you know, let the tide take you where you're going to go, put a rudder and a sail or an engine on the back and go to your destination. So what determines a win? Here's the second one. Why win? Why? I don't know. Sounds better than losing. I don't know. Why? Why win for you? Right? Some people on this call are probably going, what is Dean talking about? Why win? Well, let's figure it out. Have you won? You got to figure that out. And you guys, some people can't define it. So the first one is what determines a win. The second one is why. Maybe that's just your DNA. Maybe it's just how you're wired. You know, you guys, if you find a winner, and maybe it's you, and you find a winner in one industry, in one subject matter, there is a very high probability they're going to win here. And this is going to sound crazy. You want to know why that is? Anybody want to know why? Would you like to know? I know. All right, Kush wants to know. How about the rest of you? You guys want to know why? Why someone wins in one area, they're probably going to win here. You know why? Okay, because they win. It's what they do. It doesn't matter where you put them, they're going to win. So here's the third one, and this is a big one. This is a big one. I'm telling you. Write this down. What does it do? What does it do? So number one is what determines a win. Number two is why win. And number three is what does it do? Oh my gosh. Well, I literally could be 3 hours on this topic. What does it do when you win? Well, here's some stuff. Number one, you're confident. Right? You have belief. You have proof. You are documented. Oh, by the way, you know, what does it do when you win? Chances are, if you're winning, that means somebody else is winning. Now you're serving. And all these great things start to happen. All these great things in your business starts to happen. So what does it do? It does everything. Are you worried about the person that didn't show up to the meeting or that person who said, you know what, I've been thinking about this and I quit? Quit? You've been in for a week. You haven't done anything. How can you quit something you haven't done? You can't quit something you haven't started. But what do you care? Because you're winning with other groups. Notice I didn't say you don't care about the person. Of course you care about them. But if they don't step, you don't step. Who understands that's a fair arrangement? Like, this is a partnership. Okay, cool. So number one, what determines the win? Number two, why win? Right out of my notes, you guys, for you today. Number three, what does it do? Here's a big one. Here's a big one. Number four, who does it impact? Who is impacted by your win? Man, how much time could we spend here? How about this? I'm going to give you a few. How about this? Who's impacted by your win? How about this? Your spouse. Right? Right? Yes or no? And if you don't have a spouse, your family, your close circle. Yeah, Glenn just put in the chat, your kids. Who's impacted by your win? How about your team? These are people that are impacted by you winning. There you go. Kush, your parents, nephews, nieces. How about this, you guys? How about the number one, most important? How about you? You're impacted. You did what you said you were going to do, and now you are credible. How big of a deal is that? Because I can't, there's not words to describe how big of a deal that is. Okay, here's the next one. What message does it send to your circle? So it's who does it impact? Then what's the message it sends when you win? What message does it send to your circle? What message does it send to your family? What message does it send to your friends? What message does it send to your team? What's the message? I hope the message is, I'm not going anywhere and I'm seeing this thing through. Yeah, Bob Meyer just put, the message is that it's possible. Josh Casey just put that it works, and if they can do it, I can do it. Absolutely. That you're not a quitter. Now this is a conversation. This is a legitimate leadership conversation. You know, it's funny because last week, Al, I mean, he was very generous and very kind with his words, but he's like, dude, this was the most amazing call last week. I need to figure out how to build on that. See, to me, building on last week's call for this week's call to end the year, which I didn't even know we were doing today, that's a freaking win. Now, what really determines if this call is a win is what result did you get? What'd you get? Did you hear me talk about this and like get inspired for a minute, and then it's right back to the routine, right back to the job, right back to the to-do list of things at work, right back to answering the boss, right back to the lunch meeting, right back to trying to get the Christmas freaking shopping done, right back to all that other stuff. And this thing went in one ear and out the other. Loss. It's a loss. And you got to figure out stacking up wins and mitigating your losses. And you want to know why I say that to you guys so directly? Because I do care about people winning. I do want to see people win. But I have to tell you, if you haven't done anything from last week to this week, or 2 weeks ago to last week, or 3 weeks ago to 2 weeks ago, you're attending, not participating. And I don't need to go into that training. I've done that with you guys a bunch of times. So when you get a win for yourself, there's so many benefits of it. And there's so many people that benefit from it. And let people know. Let people know. You know, we've stacked a bunch of wins with Greg Williamson. He's on this call. We've stacked a bunch of wins with a lot of you, and a lot of you have stacked a bunch of wins. But, you know, what do they say? Like yesterday's victories don't pay tomorrow's bills. We need a victory today. We need one today. And what are you going to do? That's really the question. Because it does take something to win. And it definitely takes something to win here. Hang on one second, as I'm going to get ready to bring something up here for you guys. So, all right, cool. Right on. So, I want you guys to think about this. If you're winning, here's what you should expect. You guys want to know this? If you're winning, here's what you should expect. You should expect promotions, you should expect payouts, and you should expect proof. That's what you should expect. You should expect them. So don't be surprised when you break through a residual level. Don't be surprised when you have someone, don't be surprised when you have a Corey Rodriguez come across your path and he goes regional coordinator in 27 days. Not ETL, RC. Don't be surprised when that happens. Why? Because you're doing the things on a daily basis that give you the best chance to what? To win. So I'm going to show you guys something. You can screenshot this if you want. I mean, you guys know how I feel about that, man. I don't know how people don't take notes from trainings, because that's how you build your book. That's how you build your training book to teach your team. But you're going to do what you're going to do. Learned that a long time ago, so it's cool. Here goes. So we're talking about winning. You need 3 daily wins. A physical win, walking, running, lifting, swimming, a mental win, reading, writing, creating, learning, and a spiritual win. Praying, meditating, studying, growing. Be a complete winner. Don't win in one of them, win in all of them. Now, did I say you have to do those all day? No. But think about putting those check marks in. Man, I went to the gym, right? I read an article from a business philosopher. I did some writing, and a spiritual win. You know, however you start your day, end your day, be a complete winner. Don't win in one area, win in all of them. Why not? So you need 3 daily wins. Now I've got a few more. Do you want them or should I stop? Remember, you ask for growth. Don't be surprised when life challenges you. You do not go to the gym and not lift. You guys, that resistance breaks down and builds muscle. You ask to grow. So when life challenges you, that's done by design. Someone's not showing up, how are you going to act? Someone signs up and quits, how are you going to act? Right? Don't be surprised when life challenges you. The difference between leaders and not leaders are leaders, they want these challenges because they know it's part of developing into who they're going to be, but someone big is around the corner. There's the next one. Rich people plan for 3 generations, poor people plan for Saturday night. Right? What's your long-term vision on why you're doing this? Do you really see regional director? Do you really see regional vice president? Do you really see senior vice president? I mean, you guys, I'm not where I need to be. I'm not at Al's position, right? I got stuff to do. Here's the next one. Excuses make today easy, but tomorrow hard. Discipline makes today hard, but tomorrow easy. So you guys, what does that mean? It means, what if you did those 3 things for a win and you're disciplined about those 3 things? I think it makes a huge difference, and you start stacking those up. And now you're going from attendee to participant. I mean, let me ask you guys a question. And aren't some of you freaking sick and tired of literally being in the same place? Like, can't get yourself out of your own way. Like, what do I need to do for the light to go on? What do I need to do for this thing to click? It will only, listen to what I'm saying, it will only happen from taking action. Getting customers, building teams, promoting the events. Getting customers, building teams, promoting the events. Huge favor, that's how you get a customer. Do you look at other ways of making money? That's how you build a team. Wait till you see what's going on in Dallas, man. You're going to meet all the leaders of this company in all of North America. That's promoting the events. That's it. That's it. That's it. But if you can't do one of those three things, you guys, I'm telling you, you've done no ACN in that day. If you start stacking those things up, you're doing ACN in that day. Now you have a team of people doing that, and now you've created leverage. And they do that consistently over time. Now you're getting promoted. There's ACN. That's it. That's it. In 6 months, you're either going to have 6 months of excuses or 6 months of progress. The choice is yours. That's the greatest thing. Choice is yours. You get to choose that. In 6 months, you will have either 6 months of excuses or 6 months of progress. It's not Al's choice. By the way, show of hands, who knows what Al's choice is on this screen? Who knows? For real. For real. Why? Why do you know he's going to have 6 months of progress? Why? I'm going to tell you something. I went back to this at the beginning because that's how he is wired. Not letting 6 months go by without progressing. Are you insane? I'm not doing this for my health. I'm doing this to accomplish something. I'm doing this to what? I'm doing this to win. I'm doing this to win. All right, cool. So you guys know I'm a big fan of coaches. I've shown you guys a ton of stuff from like Nick Saban and these others, and really one of the greatest coaches of all time. I mean, there's a handful, right? I mean, Bill Belichick's been in the news a lot lately. He just, he won more Super Bowls than anybody. He took the job at North Carolina, and we all know, or I mean, most people know, like Nick Saban at Alabama, and he has great stuff that he says in his press conferences and whatever. But one of the guys that most people, business people, and athletes know is John Wooden, who is the legendary coach of UCLA basketball. And there's a bunch of great books on him. There's a great biography, but you guys, he coached one of the great players of all time, and he became almost kind of like a cult figure, meaning like a following, because he was just so funny and irreverent, but insanely intelligent. And it's Bill Walton, and he passed away recently. And Bill Walton, I found this video, and Bill Walton is a very fast speaker. He talks fast. So I'm going to play this video for you. I'm going to play it twice, but I really want you to listen to what he says, because he's talking about things that Bill Walton, he's talking about things that he learned from his coach, from John Wooden. And there's some amazing stuff in here, you guys, like amazing. So I'm going to play it twice so you guys can hear it. And I know that, I think Al or Mr. Clemens, I mean, I know that these are always recorded, but this is really good. And, I guess ironically, I mean, God always works and works in funny ways that I didn't know that today would be the last call of the year, at least for me. Not for you guys, I understand, but it's a great way to kind of maybe wrap up the year. But you guys, let me be crystal clear with you. We're doing this to win. We're doing this to stack up wins, right? That's why we are doing this. So
he would say things to us like, be quick, but don't hurry, whatever the heck that means. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Happiness begins when selfishness ends. Never mistake activity for achievement. The worst things you could do for the ones you love are the things they could and should do for themselves. Stubbornness we deprecate, firmness we condone. The former is my neighbor's trait, the latter is my own. When everybody thinks alike, nobody thinks. It's okay to disagree, just don't be disagreeable. And then the one that he wrote for me. on the day I graduated from UCLA, June 1974, 45 and a half years ago. To Bill Walton, it's the things you learn after you know it all that count. John Wooden. That still sits on my desk.
So why would I share that with you guys? I don't know if you heard the amount of wisdom in that, but let me tell you something. That is not the communication of somebody. That is not the communication of somebody who's an attendee. That's the communication of somebody who is a participant. That's the communication of somebody who's taking a stand. That's the communication of somebody who was all in on the coaching that he got. That's somebody who was all in on what their mission and their purpose was with what it is that they were doing. And isn't it funny? Those things, while taught through basketball, impacted way more than basketball in his life. And because of that, and the person he became, a whole bunch of others. How do I know that? I just shared it with you guys. Whether you're going to do anything with that, that's entirely up to you. I hope you do. I hope that maybe for some of you, like, enough is enough, man. Like I've stacked up all the reasons why. I've gotten all of the convenient excuses why. I've got all the justifications lined up why I'm not winning the way that I know that I can. Forget those. Let's get into the things that are the reasons why you're going to win and determine a win and take a win and manufacture a win and work for a win and help somebody else win. And when that happens, now you're on the road to regional coordinator, regional director, regional vice president, senior vice president. And now we're really creating momentum forward. You guys, I don't need to talk to you about the time of the year, but I will share with you on a personal note. There's so much that I'm grateful for. This has been a huge transition year, you guys. So here's the transition, right? Like you already know. So this is a massive transition. By the way, I don't know if you guys remember about a month and a half ago, there was a massive tree here. That tree gone. Windstorm took it out and we had to chop the entire thing down. And let me tell you how much wood chopping I've done in my life. Nothing until I moved up here. And then we've had these massive rains. So there's the gang, there's the ducks, and there's the pond, and there's all the stuff that you guys have seen before. Why am I showing this to you guys? Because look, stuff changes. Life changes, people change, circumstances change, things change. But here's what's consistent. What's consistent is you. You want to know why I said that Al, if for some reason, and that I certainly don't foresee, and God knows I don't want that to happen, but let's say Al started doing something else. I'm telling you guys something right now, in my opinion, whatever that next thing is, he's winning. He's winning. Why? It's not the question of whether or not he's going to win. You already know he's going to win. The question is, why is he going to win? Why? Why? Because how he treats his business, how he treats other people, how to lead by example. These, to me, are all things about winning, right? So I hope 2024 was a win for you. I hope being on these calls are a win for you. I hope that you've gotten your customer points so you feel like there was a win for you. I hope that you have gotten promoted to positions, so that's a win for you. Here's a big one. I hope you've done what is required to help the people on your team get promoted and paid. So that is a win for you because you focused on their win. But I'm letting you guys know, you guys, please get this. Someone who is winning is going to talk to someone that you know. I hope that that someone is you. But they will. ACN is about to take off. And I'm letting you guys know you're in a window of time that people need to hear your win. They need not to brag, but to have proof, to talk about what you've done and what you're about to do in 2025. You know what? I'd want to hear that story. So that was my message for you guys today. And obviously now for the end of the year, at least for me, I hope that, hope you guys got some value out of this. And it's great to be with you. Al, I appreciate, I appreciate our friendship. I appreciate getting to go on these trips with you. I've appreciated getting to know you. And on behalf of everybody on here, we covered a lot of territory today. So here goes, you guys. Number one is this: what determines a win? Number two, once you figured out what determines a win for you, then why win? And then the third one was, what does it do? What does it do for you? The fourth one is, who does it impact? And the last one is, what message does it send to your circle? What message does it send to your family, to your friends, to your team? How you're operating. That's why I spoke with you guys so directly today. We're not freaking fooling around. And you deserve this if you do the work that's required. You deserve to be, you guys understand what determines a win. Do you have a heart for other people? Do you have a heart to get out of your way? Do you have a heart to maybe say and do things that they may not necessarily want to hear in the beginning, but you know it's going to take them in a direction that's going to have them win? Well, guess what, you guys? You can't ask of someone what you're not willing to do yourself. That is unfair. It doesn't really work that way. It's not fair. But when you are operating in that way, when you are treating people that way, right? Look, when someone's in your heart that way, then that's what happens. And guess what? You can't fight it. You can't fight it, nor should you. Right? Now it's up to you to be that person. It's up to it's up to you to be that person for that person and get them a win. And by helping them get a win, you get a win. You know, you guys, this year we blinked and this year was done. And I remember jumping on these calls every other month, every Thursday, every other month for, Al, is it 5 years now? I think it is. I think it's like in our fifth. Yeah, you're lying. You guys, look at Al. Look at Al Thomas hold those two fingers up. By the way, he held two fingers up. He could have put up one. I'm not saying which one. He could have put up one. You know, actually, you know what? I want to show you guys one other thing. Can I show you guys one other thing? Al, are you good since this is my last one of the year? Are we good?
Yeah, I got the Vivid pulled up, but go ahead.
Oh, you have a video pulled up?
No, Vivid. I got some work that you need to do
got
here.
it.
But
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Guys, check this out. This entire theme of this month was Breakout December. How are you going to break out? How are you going to live and do the things that you really want to do with, by, through, and for other people by building in this vehicle, right? Cool. Part-time, on the side, all of that. It's about getting a win. But you guys, you know what? Coming into the holidays, I wanted you guys to, and I didn't know that I would be able to share this with you. What I'm going to share with you really has very little to do with ACN, but it has to do with art. And it has to do with being creative. And it has to do, and I think everybody, whether you feel you're like a creative person or not, that's kind of my background. And I came across something, and I hope I can find it fast enough because it was really amazing. So bear with me for 1 second while I find this for you guys, because I just want to show you what can happen. Found it. Okay, cool. Hang on. I want to show you what can happen when you take something, and I'll give you an example, right? I'll give you an example. It is someone looks at our business and they don't see what you see. Who, by the way, who's experienced that? You show someone our business. Hang on. They don't see what you see. They don't maybe get what you get. But with a little adjustment, a little tweak, a little something, their perspective completely changes. And you enhance what it is that they're looking at. And there's a lot of beauty in the world. But I just want to show you guys this and let you know that the experience that you have the history that you have will serve you if you use it. And sometimes you just need to get a little creative. So I want to show you guys, this is a photographer, and he takes a picture and then it gets changed and he puts a frame around it, and watch what happens.
Waiting for fading in, fading out on the edge of paradise. Every inch of your skin is a holy grail I've gotta find. Only you can set my heart on fire, on fire. Yeah, I'll let you set the pace, 'cause I'm not thinking straight. My head's spinning around, I can't see clear no more. What are you waiting for? Love me like you do.
Here's why I wanted to show you guys that. You can win by just being you. Be as creative as you want, right? Like so long as you do what falls within the policies and the procedures of the company, why not? Break a barrier, right? Test your limit. See what you're capable of. Those are a bunch of people sitting around on a subway, but because a guy had a vision of what he might do when the subway train goes by, or that the ballerina, and he changed unbelievable. Why can't you guys create the color and the pattern of your life with this? Why not? Give me one reason that I should buy. Don't waste your time. I'm not going to buy them. You can do it. So, Mr. T, that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope everybody works for a win by helping the people on their team win. Get a little creative with it. Have some fun. And it's great to see everyone. Great to see everyone.